Western Cape Judge President John Hlophe says the South African justice system needs to be transformed to reflect the core values of African people. He was speaking during an event to commemorate Heritage Month organised by the Black Lawyers Association at the Castle of Good Hope in Cape Town. Hlophe believes the judiciary is a powerful instrument that can be used to address the issue of land redistribution.
Dignitaries, including judges, various law practitioners, lawmakers, and members of civil society, converged to discuss the land question and the role of the judiciary. The experts say the law is an instrument that can be used to oppress or liberate people. Keynote speaker Judge John Hlophe says the apartheid regime used legislation such as the Land Act and the Group Areas Act to dispossess the natives. He says there is a need to decolonize the judicial system.
The time has come that our legal system must embrace the values of the African people. The Constitution must speak to our aspirations. It must speak to our land. It must address the issue of land. By the way, talking about the Constitution and the issue of land, I know this is the question I'm often asked. Whether is there a need to amend Section 25 of the Constitution, I don't see the need to amend it at all. It must be interpreted by a judiciary that understands the history of the African people in a purposive interpretation.
Amend the judiciary.
Exactly, transform the judiciary.
Hlophe made a rare public appearance amidst some legal challenges. He faces impeachment after being found guilty of misconduct for trying to sway two constitutional court judges in 2008. 2 weeks ago, the Judicial Conduct Appeals Committee also recommended that a tribunal be established to investigate allegations of abusive language and abuse of power leveled against him by his deputy, Patricia Goliath. Allegations of racism were also recommended against Goliath. Hlophe declined to comment on both matters. Members of the indigenous nations who were present have meanwhile appealed to South African law practitioners to uphold their rights.
We can start this discussion because we have to have this discussion. We have to settle the Khoisan issue. The start of this issue is to recognize first the sovereignty of the Khoisan. Although defeated, they still retain sovereignty like the Germans after the Second World War. And then we need to start talking about an accommodation between the Khoisan and the sovereign state as the beginnings of this settlement that we have to have.
I am here mandated by the custodians of your culture to say from today onwards, just start developing laws, policies, and regulations and get them in a state of readiness. And they must be aligned to our own culture as a people.
Some lawyers say the legal system is at times inconsistent with the Constitution as it requires even poor people to pay a lot of money to litigate. The Black Lawyers Association says it will continue to host dialogues of this nature to address an array of challenges in the legal fraternity. Athule Joga, SABC News, Cape Town.